Hello everybody, welcome back to the Co-op Pokemon League. We are here with our other quarterfinal match. We had Mac versus Braden Yu earlier, and now we have Joe versus Jimmy. Jimmy had a strong start to the season, but surprisingly, these sides have an equal record going into this game. So, who do you think is going to win? Leave your predictions in the comments. But let's go ahead and get this game started. There's a possibility of 3 games because it's best of 3, but let's go and get the first game out of the way. There will be 100% a second match, but we'll just see if that second match is the end or if we head to a third match like we did earlier. Now, Joe is going to get the kill on Stellonic, and that's a pretty easy first kill there. Joe has been probably Team Joe's best player. Thrash lands, not that much damage. And then Joe does another drill peck. And Claudia's struggling to get some damage off here as Joe has already taken out 2 of Jimmy's people. Harrison up against Joe. Harrison finishes off Joe with Hydro Pump, and now I'm expecting Randy. And Toxic lands on Randy. Cross Chop, 48% damage. And Hydro Pump misses from Harrison. That's big. And Cross Chop lands on Harrison. Does not kill Harrison. But the Hydro Pump gets Randy down to 2%. And then Randy finishes off Harrison with Cross Chop. And I think this one is going to be a victory for Joe. Remember, there will be a second game, so make sure you're here for that. It will be immediately after this one, so there's actually no waiting that you have to do at all. But Adrian trying his very best, unable to do it, and Joe takes a 4-2 victory in the first game. Let's go ahead and hop over to the second game now. So, it's 1-0 to Joe. If Joe wins this game, that is the end of Jimmy's tournament. Jimmy will now have to win 2 games in a row if they want to progress to the semifinals. But let's go and get this game started. So we have Joe up against Harrison. Harrison lands Hydro Pump. Joe lands Drill Peck. Another Drill Peck from Joe. Hydro Pump misses from Harrison. Drill Peck again on Harrison. And Harrison finishes off Joe with Hydro Pump again. Randy versus Harrison. Toxic lands. Cross Chop finishes off Harrison. And now it will probably be Stellonic. There it is. And they switch out to Tom. Tom gets hit by Psychic around 35% damage. Crunch does a little over 50% damage. Another Psychic lands on Tom. And then Crunch will finish off Stellonic, as it will probably head over to Claudia or Adrian. Obviously. Adrian does Giga Drain to finish off Tom. And we head over to the final 2 on the other side. Adrian lands Psychic, gets a good bit of damage off. Rock Slide finishes off Adrian. And now Claudia versus Randy and Alyssa. Psychic finishes off Randy, and it comes down to a 100% versus a 100%. Thrash lands around 50% damage. Hydro Pump only around 38% damage, even with a crit. Another Thrash lands 1% for Alyssa. Hydro Pump misses. And a Sucker Punch finishes off Alyssa as Team Jimmy are able to even it back up to take it to Game 3. Let's go ahead and go over to Game 3 now. Who do you think is going to be heading to the semifinals to join the earlier team? And then they will also be joining Braden P and Stefan, who got a first round bye from getting first and second in the round robin. But let's go ahead and hop into the third and final game of this quarterfinal. And then remember, the semifinals will be tomorrow. And it opens the same way. Joe up against Harrison. And Harrison lands that Hydro Pump again. This time does not miss the second Hydro Pump. And then Brave Bird lands on Harrison and Joe dies. Harrison was going for a Hydro Pump there. Crunch lands on Harrison, does not get the kill. Toxic misses though, that's big. And Harrison falls to Tom. Adrian versus Tom. Crunch lands. And it's a good matchup here for Tom. Tom lands Crunch again, finishing off Adrian. And now I think it might be Claudia. There it is. And Superpower lands on Claudia, gets a good bit of damage off. Tom does lose about half of his defense, though, and Thrash gets a 63% hit. As now we head over to Randy versus Claudia. Claudia lands a good 36% there before dying to Seismic Toss. And now Stellonic versus Randy. Rock Slide lands a good bit of damage there, but Psychic is able to finish off Randy as we come down to the final two. Alyssa does 25% damage with that. Psychic does 40% damage, and the special defense falls. Hydro Pump lands on Stellonic, but Psychic gets the kill on Alyssa. A 61% Psychic gets Jimmy to the semifinals, where he will be playing the team that won earlier, or Braden P, or Stefan. You'll have to find out tomorrow who they play. But what a day it's been here. Both games going to game 3. Hopefully we get some action in the semifinals tomorrow also. But that is all for the quarterfinals. I'll see you all tomorrow for the semis. Goodbye.